Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of easy post-plan lineups for Inferno, a site, the default plant. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. So if you guys don't already know, the default plant for Inferno A default is probably right by this box. I've seen other people plant it somewhere over here or around this other box, but most of the time if you're pushing from short, you would plant in this corner. I would find this is the most common spot, and that's what I've developed lineups for. So we're going to be going in order from the most consistent to the most inconsistent lineups. And the first one is if you're playing from apartments. So this is a pretty good position to hold. If you peek out, you can see into library, into moto, a little bit into short. But for this lineup, you actually don't need to expose yourself at all. Maybe only to pit. But it's a very quick window. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into this corner, wedge yourself in there. And as you can see, there is this intersection between the brick wall and the orange paint. On this pillar, we want to aim at the center of this doorway thingamajig. Grab our Molotov, aim slightly below this line, like this, and as you can see, that perfectly lands onto the default plant. You can replicate this with the nade if you want. It's very easy to do, it's super hard to mess up. You can even do it very fast. The only thing I would recommend is don't aim any higher than this line, or not you will start getting into a little bit of problems like that. So yeah, preferably not do that. You just get into this corner very quickly. Do it with a nade. And as you can see, they land perfectly onto the bomb. Anyone, they're basically dead. They're basically dead. Alright, and next we're going to be moving on from if we are playing short side near boiler. So let's say if we somehow are at boiler and the CTs are on the defuse, no problem, we just get out onto this doorway. This one is very loose, don't worry about the specifics. What I like to do is I like to hug this wall. Only just barely come out of boiler, and we should be able to see this window cover, like this brown window panel right here. What we want to do is grab a Molotov, aim at the top of that. We want to do a running throw. We're going to bounce it off the center of this wooden panel. I like to aim at the top a little bit. It's very loose, arbitrarily. And as you can see, that perfectly lands onto the site. It basically cooks the entire bomb plant. You can get it a little bit further on the right if you want. It's very easy, just aim it a little bit to the right, and that's basically perfect. And the best part about this one is that if you peek out a little bit too much, you'll realize that there is another similar looking brown pane. And the crazy part is that if you screw it up, it's alright. This actually hits the plant pretty well. I mean, not pretty well, but like, let me just try to get a better angle on this one. If I'm back a little bit. Yeah. This oftentimes covers the default plant as well. And as for the nade, you can do the exact same thing for these two panels. It lands relatively close to the guy, like if I'm diffusing here. Yeah, this basically lands right next to my face. However, I find that to get it a little bit closer, there's an alternate way to throw this. Instead of aiming up high and doing a run throw, we're going to aim at the bottom at this skirting right here. We're going to do a running jump throw, and that basically achieves the same result but even deadlier. You can do this with the Molotov, but I find this to be way more effective. Alright, now we're going to be moving on to playing from long, the arches side, or the library side as I like to call it. Mostly from arches. If you come through arches, you're in a perfect spot to throw this Molotov. So what we are looking for is actually, wait, let me just go get a sniper for this. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show off my craft while I'm at it. This is a certified craft from my cousin Wavy. He's a skin collector / connoisseur. Anyways, so yeah, let me just grab my op right here. So what we're going to be aiming for is the top of this window chimney thing. I don't know what this is really. It looks like a chimney. I'm gonna call it a chimney. So we want to aim at the very top of the chimney, grab our Molotov, hug this wall, and we're gonna do a running throw. The moment we get close to this edge, we let go. And as you can see, I didn't even do it perfectly, but this basically cooks the entire default site. But more accurately, even if you wanna be a little bit closer to this wall, that's fine as well. It's very loose. It's very loose. It works a lot. This is just generally very good. Generally very good. And if you want to do it with a nade, all you have to do is aim at the, as you can see here, we're gonna do the same trick that we applied at short. We're gonna aim at the dirt here in between the barrel, where the barrel meets the dirt. We're gonna grab our nade. We're gonna do a running jump throw to get as much speed as possible. And this basically lands right next to the diffuser. You can get it to go a little bit further, you just need a lot of speed. But it is very realistically doable. For example, Yeah, that basically lands right on the guy. That basically lands right on the guy. If he is like 50 HP, the guy is gone, man. That guy is a post guy. He's no longer a guy. Alright, and I think, oh yeah, these are very obsolete lineups, but if you just happen to need them, I guess why the hell not. If you're in library and you want to somehow line up from library, there is no real safe way to do it. You will be exposing yourself to the site a little bit. However, one thing I do recommend is that maybe you can pop latch yourself out a little bit. Maybe clear out the immediate angles, clear out pit, clear out apartments and the immediate site. And if you know that they are behind the box diffusing, all you need to do is get out a little bit, get your molly. Okay, this is a bit difficult to understand, so we're going to be in line with this, what do you call this? This is a ceiling tile. We're going to be in line with the ceiling tile and the bottom wooden part. We're going to come all the way out, and we're going to line up between these two, the window and the bricks. So right here, go up until we meet the middle. That is exactly where we want to be aiming at. And we hold our molly, pull it out. It hits exactly on the barrels, hitting the entire site. This is very, very difficult to land, but if you give it a little bit of practice, it can be relatively fast like that. There we go, I just did it. It's not too hard actually, just practice it a little bit. Yeah, the fire spreads really well like this. You can do the same with the nade. The nade is actually really good, because it once again pops right next to the guy, making the diffuser a post diffuser. And the final lineup is going to be from this corner. If for some reason you are stuck here, this is such a bad position to play. If you don't have smokes, you're basically screwed. But if you somehow are in this position, for the Molotov, what you want to do is you want to look for... Okay, you see that there are these little stubs, 1, 2, 3. We're going to count the third one. We're going to aim up all the way to the ceiling tile, grab our Molotov, do a running throw before we hit the wall. Because you see, if we hit the wall, we get off-centered. We want to throw it before we hit the wall. So just like that. Okay, that was a really bad example. Okay, wait. There we go. We want to do a very slight throw, a slight running throw. This is what you will get, and this is actually quite inconsistent, which is why I put it at the end. You will get varying results from time to time. Like, you might get that, but rest assured, every variation I've tried, the fire does spread over, as long as you don't catastrophically screw it up. As you can see, let me try that one more time. And this one even hits the top of the box, but you can see it still covers the default plan. So rest assured, you will get many variations of this throw, but all of them will hit the default plan. And the same thing for the nade. The nade is not that consistent, I will say. But if you get a really good one, this basically... this is death. This is death from above. So yeah, this is a really good one. I very rarely use though, very rarely use. And finally, the most dumb lineup I can think of, if you're somehow playing in pit. But I'm gonna be real, if you're playing in pit, just peek out and shoot the guy. But if for some reason you want to play it super safe, like time is low, all you're gonna do is come up near this area where you can see the red sign. We want to line up the center of the red sign with the center of this pillar. So exactly this line, as you can see, it's lined up that way. Aim here, do a very slight shift walking. We're gonna shift walk, jump throw, right click, and that lands perfectly. The same can be done with the nade. I did not press shift there, but margin for error is huge for this one. Yeah. And yeah, that's how you defend, that's how you be an absolute pussy and bitch out in comp, I guess, in your Premier games. Let me know if this saves you any games. Let me know what other post plan or lineups you want to see next on my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.